Today we'll see what is a thread and how to create them, what is the life cycle of thread, and how to call, sleep, wait, notify all, how to use them. So what are the main, most important methods are available in threads? We'll see them. Okay. Okay. Uh, Before getting into threads, just want to give a real-time idea, or I just want to make you comfortable with the thread by explaining a small example. Let's take on our Windows or any of the machines. We are opening Eclipse, or we are opening some folders, and we are opening some MS Word. We are opening some PDF files, and some place we are playing songs. How these are happening? Multi-processes. It is happening multiple processes, right? You might have opened PDF, or you might have opened MS Word, or you might have opened MS Excel sheet, or you might have opened browser, and you might have opened Eclipse. So multiple applications are running. What is that? That is called multiprocessing. Multiprocessing. Multiprocessing means a parallelly running a multiple applications, parallelly running multiple tasks. Let's just take. I'll give an example for thread now. You have opened a Word document. You will be typing in that Word document, or you will be writing in that Word document. At the back end, at background, whatever you type, the spell check will be running, the grammar check will be running, and auto save will be running. These are threads. These are threads. Now let's come to what is Java threads. Basically, the Java threads are a lightweight processes. A lightweight. Instead of saying processes, we can say those are sub processes, because the main process is like your application. You open application, our main process is running on your Eclipse, our main process is running some other old or other application you have opened, but parallelly there will be some threads are running, auto save or spell check or grammar check, right? These are parallelly running. These are threads. Are you guys got my point? You guys understood what is a thread now? uh yeah. Thread is a lightweight subprocess. Why I'm saying it's a lightweight? It is not depending on any of the OS libraries. If something is depending on the OS libraries, like if you take an Eclipse, to run an Eclipse, it is depending on your OS. And some of the files in OS, or some of the libraries in OS, are registries. Or if you're opening a PDF file, it should have some files has to be installed, or it has to be some files has to be installed on OS. Because your process is not lightweight. Your process is depending on your OS libraries.
Ravi, sorry for interruption. I'm not able to see screen. Are you
No,
sharing
no,
the
I'm not
screen?
sharing the screen. I'll share the screen.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. I think you guys can able to see now. Okay? So if something is depending on OS libraries or OS some of the files or some of the registries, that's we call as a heavyweight. If something is not depending on operating system libraries, if they're running independently, they're not belong to anything with the OS, then we can call them as a lightweight. Are you guys clear now what is a lightweight and what is a heavyweight? You will be seeing this word most of the cases. You will be seeing this word when you are reading some new concepts or something. What is a lightweight and what is a heavyweight? We may just learn.
Yeah. Sorry for
Yeah,
interruption.
go ahead.
Ravi, yeah, come again. Once again, can you define that lightweight?
Lightweight. If you say a lightweight process or lightweight framework, or if I say something lightweight, that will not depend on the operating system libraries. Operating system means our Windows, Linux, or Mac, different operating system. This lightweight, that process or that framework will not depending on the operating system files. That will not depend on the operating system. operating system files. If anything is depending on the operating system libraries, like it can be a framework, it can be a small application, it can be anything. If it's anything is depending on your operating system libraries, that's we call as a heavyweight, right? So when it comes to the Java threads, these are a lightweight subprocesses. Then what is a multi-threading? Ravi, you said you explained process and you explained thread. And what is a multi-threading? It is a process of executing multiple tasks at a time. Multiple tasks at a time, simultaneously. When you are typing your Word document, when you are preparing your resume, and autosave will run, grammar check will run, and your spell check will run automatically. The adjustments, how it's all are happening? At background, multiple threads are running parallelly. In your Java code, we can create our own threads, user defined threads. Those are called user defined threads. There are other type of threads called daemon threads, which will not depend on the parent thread. We will see what is a daemon threads, like your garbage collector. Your garbage collector, you never know when it will execute. You never know when it will start and when it will finish. Other threads are user defined threads, the threads which we will create and we will run explicitly. We'll see more details about them. Clear about the threads and clear about the process and thread? Okay. So these threads will start using a common memory. In one process contains multiple threads. Your Word document contains multiple threads. Your Word document is running on one process, right? Then it means that your multiple threads are running at background. That is the reason when you go for buy any mobile or when you go for buy any laptop, what we will see? What is the process? What is the processor? So i5, i7, Core 8, octa core, dual core, hexa core. We'll see these things, right? It means that those mean process can run easily without any problem. Clear, guys? Right? Let's move. I'll show you how to create a thread. Let's see create different ways of the creating a thread. We can create a threads in different ways. We can create a threads in different ways. Before that, let me explain detailedly what is a thread and how it will work and all. You have opened on processor, and you have some lines of code here, and you have lines of some code here. You want to execute parts of the program parallelly. You want to execute the parts of the program parallelly. You can use threads. Then how to create a thread? Okay, Ravi, I understood how it is a thread and how it will run. Then how to create a thread? There are two different ways to create a thread. There are two different ways to create a thread. Even though if you didn't create a thread, by default when you're executing a program or when you're running a program, there will be a default thread will be running, which is the main thread. We have seen last class sometime, no, some one of the class. If you start executing a program, the JVM will launch one thread that's called main thread. The main thread will launch on your main method. From the main method will start executing, right? Then how to create user defined threads? There are two ways to create a user defined thread. One is by extending a thread class, extending a thread class. This thread class is a predefined class, and if you extend that class, you will become a child class. Your class will become a child class, and your child class will be having your capable of enough to, I mean, it will get that threadfulness. It will get the threadfulness. It has to override run method, and we'll see that. By one way is by extending the thread class. Let's assume that you have already a class, class X, and it has a parent already, which is A. But now you cannot make your X class by using threads, right? Because we will not support the multi-thread. Sorry, multiple inheritance. Multiple, not multi-thread. Sorry, multiple inheritance. If you say your class wants to become a thread class, your class is already extending a class A. Your class is already extending class A. Now, how to create a thread out of it? How to create a thread out of it? You cannot use this way because it will not allow Java. The other way is implementing runnable interface. Runnable interface. So if you have this kind of situation, already your class is extending other class. You don't have option to extend other class. I mean, some already say extending class A. Let's assume that you don't have an option to extend another one more class. So that kind of scenarios, what you can do instead of extending, you say implements runnable. So this also your class also will become a thread class. Clear, guys? There are two different ways to create a thread and when to use what, right? So if you don't have any extents, well, if you don't have any extent, only it's going to extend thread class. You can directly use a thread class. If you have an option to, it has to be, it's mandatory. It has to extend the other class, but you cannot go with this option. You can go with the class X extends, and let's assume that there is a class called parent, and you want to make your this class has to thread. So you can go ahead and implement runnable interface. Clear, guys? This is very much important. We should know when to go for which option. Are you guys clear? Please respond to me, then I can understand whether you guys are understood or not.
Yes, Ravi, understood.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Now let's see a small example how to create a class now. Thread class. Then we'll see the life cycle. We'll see the one program, then we'll go with the life cycle. Already I have a set of examples, and I'll share with you anyway. I'll be sharing those examples with you guys. Threads. Or else we can go ahead and create a new threads. Here also you have a thread, one more threads. Let's take all together because I'll be sharing this project with you guys by tomorrow or today. You guys can import this project into your local, then you can go ahead and see these programs. Then you guys can go ahead and try, do hands-on all these programs. That's very much important. When you do a hands-on, you'll learn more. Let's go with threads demo. There are so many. There are so many in this. You can see. Let's assume that this is my class, thread class. This is my thread class, and I'm extending with thread. This is my class which I have written, a class thread class, and I'm extending with a thread. So see what the thread class contains. Thread class already implemented runnable interface only. Your thread class also is implementing runnable interface, and it has some static block to register natives. We'll see them. It has a name and it has a priority. It has a thread queue and it has a I don't know what is the AE top. We will see. I don't know what is AE top. I mean, I didn't come across this. And it has some of the other daemon, target, group, thread group. It belongs to some thread group. And let's see what are the methods are there first of all. Thread ID, next thread ID. It has the priorities. It has the sleep method, yield method, current thread method, init, thread. These are the constructors, different kind of constructors. And you have a start, you have a run method, and you have a stop, and interrupted, destroy, is alive, suspend, resume, set priority, set name, get name. So there are so many methods are available. So in this, we'll not be going to use all the methods. We'll be make use of the some of the methods. We will see them. What are they we are going to use. So whenever you extend a thread class, we have to override a run method. We have to override a run method. Public void run method. This run method, why we have to override run method? When I start the thread, it has to execute from run only. It will execute from run only. Because the thread cycle will start from the run method. We'll see that. Let's assume that you forget about this code. I'll explain what is this code, why I have written this and why I have commented this. I'll explain. So then go to main method and I have created some threads, multiple threads. Creating threads is nothing but creating an object for your thread class, whatever the class you have extended. Creating thread means is nothing but creating objects for the classes. Then this is up to you. So we can set the names and we can set the priorities. We'll see the what is the priority or not. Then if you want to execute or if you want to start your threads, this is the method you have to write. This is the method you have to write. If you are getting a confusion here, I can take a new example for you. If you are getting a confusion there, I'll go ahead and take a new class. Let's see, I'll write a new class for you. Thread demo. And I need a main method. I need a comments. Just finish this. And I need to extend thread class. I need to extend thread class. And if I extend my thread class, I need to write a run method. And I need to write a run method. If I didn't write a run method, I cannot start the threads. I mean, my business logic will go into run method. When the thread starts, what is the business logic you want to execute? What is the business logic you want to write? Just assume that I'm just writing once this out. Entered into run method. And I just want to print a 10 numbers. int I equal to 0, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. I just want to print 10 sequence numbers. I value equal to I. Good. Now my run method is ready and I have to create a thread now. Creating thread is nothing but creating an object for your class. Creating object for your class, nothing else. Then how to start the threads? You have to start the thread t1 dot start method. You have to use t1 dot start method. t1 dot start method. So let's see this example and I will explain you what is the priorities, how to set the name, how to get the names, and all those things we'll see. Okay. If you see them or if you come across them, don't confuse. I'll just explain them. See here, it has printed 0, 0 to 10, right? And you want to see which thread it has printed. You want to see which thread it has to print it. Guys, please concentrate. This is very much important. Thread dot current thread dot get name. What it will do, it will display the which thread it is running. It will display the which thread it is running. And also, if you want to see the flow, how it is executing, thread dot current thread dot sleep for 300 milliseconds. And it has to be either in monitoring area or it has to be in the monitoring area. You just see that. Okay, you just see what it is telling. Thread name is thread-0 and it's printing one by one after one, right? We are seeing the delay, right? If you want to see more delay, you can increase here some more time, 500 milliseconds. Right? And you want to see what is the thread is running a main method. If you want to see what is the thread running by your main method, that's also we need to see, right? It's a main method. We just have kept like that. Thread dot current thread dot get name. Your main thread is started, main, then your child threads are started, right? And why it is a thread name is thread-0? Because we didn't set any name explicitly. You set a name. Now you have a method called you can set the name. You can set the name for your thread. Let's say demo thread. Now see, thread name is demo and it start executing. Clear? Now next move to priority. So what is a priority? Priorities are like which thread has to execute first. There are three type of priorities. One is min priority, maximum priority, and normal priority. What are the values? Min priority is, I think, 1, not 0, I think 1. Max is 10, normal is 5. Minimum priority is 0, I hope. Min priority is, I think, 0. That we can check it, not a problem. That we can check it here only by using. I'll tell you what is, I think minimum priority is 0. Minimum priority is 0, max is 10, and normal is 5. Oh, 0 or 1, I think I just confused with the 0 1. No, it's not 0. There is no any priority 0. It is 1. Yes, correct. It's a 1. It's a 1. Sorry, guys. It is 1. Yeah. Then why the priorities? See, we have created a thread, but someone has to execute these threads, right? That is by your CPU. And what type of CPU we are using? Either there are two type of execute. There are two type assigning the threads or accessing the threads. One is the time slicing. Other one is scheduling. Thread scheduling. There are two different ways we'll pick your threads. It depends on your CPU, how that CPU has been designed, or how your OS has been defined. And if it is a time slicing, what it will do in the time slicing, each thread will get some specific time. In a time slicing, each thread will have some specific time to has to execute. In scheduling, we will schedule for the threads which thread has to execute when. Anyway, we'll see this two in detail once we clear about these threads, setting the priorities, getting the priorities, or how to run them. Then we'll see these times. What is the time slicing and what is the scheduling? We'll see them in detail. So if we have a high priority, always it will try to execute this thread, but it's not guarantee. Threads, first of all, the threads are not guarantee. Which thread will execute first and which thread will execute next is not guarantee. If you have a maximum priority, always it will try to execute the maximum priority thread. Can we set the priorities? Yes, we can set the priorities. How to set the priority? You just go ahead and see here. T1 dot set priority. Set priority. It can be maximum priority, it can be minimum priority. Let's assume that this is the thread 1. I'm going to create a thread 2. So multi-thread means multiple threads has to be there, right? So I'm going to create thread 2. Let's say it's a demo 2. Thread 2 is demo 2. And thread 2 I'm assigning minimum priority. Minimum priority is 1. Let's see if you want to see it. What is this? Minimum priority is 1. And normal priority is 5 and maximum priority is 10. Yes, I was correct. Minimum priority is 1 and normal priority is 5 and max priority is 10. Now, so if that is the case, it has to execute always T1, right? Not the T2. Then we start the T1, T2. T2 also we have to start. Let's see how they will execute. I could take, instead of 10, I'll take 5 because I want to see the output very clearly. I'll just take 5. See, main it is entered and it is entered into a run method, which is that it's a thread 2. Thread 2 came first. But what are we? I have given thread 1 as a maximum priority. Then why thread 2 came. That's what. It completely depends on the CPU, how it is working. That is the reason there is no guarantee which thread will execute first. And if you say thread 1 is executed later, and it's a thread 1 output, instead of that, I'll keep this. I'll keep this. Okay, we'll print here only. And also, now this is also not required. You guys understood. Demo 2. Demo 2 executed first. And again demo 2 executed first. Again demo 2. Here also demo 2. Here also demo 2. And here demo 2. See, twice the demo 2 is executed. If I execute one more time, it may not be the case. If I execute one more time, thread 1 may come first. See, demo came first. It means thread 1 came first. So in a multi-threading environment, we cannot make sure that which thread will come and execute first. For that, we will make a synchronization. What we will do? Synchronization. It's always, it will give the prior, it will say that one thread will execute first. Synchronized. Let's see now how it will work. In the synchronized run method, instead of keeping a synchronized method here, let me keep only this part into synchronize. Here also synchronized. We're just running in a loop, but the loop is getting executed by now also both the threads are getting executed. How this will work? This is the problem with the threads. Okay. Yeah, synchronize always allows only one thread, but we will see that. I'll show you a different example. Okay, I may not be able to show in this example. I'm not able to explain you in this example. I'll also tell you that why I was not able to show you here and what is the problem here. We will see that. We'll see that. Okay. Now you guys understood, right? So how to create a thread and how to set the priority and how to set the names, right? Clear, guys? So we will see the now proper example for the synchronized. Now this is we have seen by extending. This is the one way of creating thread. We'll see other way to create a thread. Implement runnable interface. As I said, we can use the get the run interface here only. We can implement here only. Just say add. It will get added here. If it's get added here, automatically it will come to your class also. See here. We no need to write explicitly. Then it will ask you to override this method. So the same logic you can give. Whatever the logic we have seen, the same logic you can give there. There is a slight difference here. I'll show you what is a slight difference. I'll show you what is a slight difference. Here, what you have to do, you create object for this. And say tr. You have to pass this you have to pass this a thread class to make your thread as a to make your class or your object as a thread. You have to create a runnable of whatever the runnable interface wherever you have implemented. You have to create an object for it, and you have to pass that object to a thread class. This is the difference. Let's say tr2. Let's say it's a t2, and let's say it is tr2. What happened to this? T1 dot set priority thread dot max priority. T2 dot set priority thread dot normal priority. Try to execute this program. The same kind of results will come. Same kind of results will come. So understood, right? And what scenario? Let's assume that your thread, this class has to be implemented. This has to be extended already an existing class. Let's assume that some class. In that kind of scenarios, we'll go with the runnable interface. When you implement the runnable interface, you have to override the run method. In the run method, you have to write your own business logic. Not only like this, you can call from here any method. You can call here from other method. So you can call some other logic from here. So the thread execution start from the run. So let's assume that here on I'll show. Let's assume that I have a start method. I have written this logic here. Anyway, here it is there. Let's see now. Entered into start method. And also, you see here, it is not a demo thread, it is a main thread. It is not a user defined thread, it is the main thread which is created by JVM. It means that if we have a start method in your class, it is like a normal method only. It is not a thread. See the difference. What I did, I just say the thread1.start. It's always refer the start method. Then it will execute. It's not executing as a this threads. like a demo thread or demo 2 thread. It is executing as a main thread only. That is the reason one after one, because this is the first call and this is the second call. This is the first call and this is the second call, right? It is going in normal way only. There is nothing here. There is nothing here. Thread way. That is a normal way only, right? This is normal way only. This is main method only. Main thread only. That is the reason we should not have a start method in our thread class. If you have a start method, it will always try to call this start method because it's a high priority. It's not like a method priority. It is like in the object, if you have some method which is where you're calling with your reference, it will always call this one only. It will give the first priority to the normal method, not the threads. Okay, and we don't have any method call. You can ask me, sir, like why can't I say t1 dot run? Okay, go ahead and say t2 dot run. Let's see what is the output of this. It's entered into the start method and entered into the second start method. Now it will enter into, from here it is entered demo, and these are the demo. But even though those are not separate threads, those are not multi-thread, those are main threads. To make that clear, let me are you guys able to find the difference now? It is entering into the start, but it is running as the main thread only. And now it's entered into the run method, it's executing as a main thread only. If you want to call if you want to start a life cycle of threads, if you want to start the multi-thread way, you have to call start only, not the run or not the start. So this should not have a start. I can say start method. Now you run and see the difference. It is entering into run method and it is demo 2 or demo 2 demo 1. So it's coming. Which thread is executing first, we may not able to uh, uh, predict here because it's a multi-thread environment. Clear, guys? Let's see. This is the setting the priorities. This is the way we'll make it sleep. This is the way we'll make it sleep. And you have set of methods in this: sleep, wait, notify, join. Those methods we will see tomorrow, one after one, because if you try to understand only threads today, so how to make it wait? I want to make some thread to wait for some time. I want to make some thread one. I want to join them into an existing thread. And what is a daemon thread? All these three we'll see tomorrow. So this I'll be sharing these folders. I'll be sharing these programs. I'll be creating a zip folder and I'll be uploading into the drive. You guys can import this as a project. And you guys can go ahead and try the programs. It has it has a how to call the run method. Explicitly you're calling run method, what we have seen already. And deadlock situation, when we'll go with a deadlock situation, we can have a example here. What kind of scenarios it will go into deadlock situation? You see here, synchronize, and this is depending on this object, and this object is depending on this object. And you have a joins, how to join a thread, what is the use of the join, when you join what will happen. And sleep, you can see the sleep demo. We just saw the sleep. They're the same. We just saw the sleep, right? The thread is sleeping for some time and it is giving some time delay while printing. And we'll see the synchronized blocks and we'll see the synchronized methods one after one. So these things we'll see tomorrow. But anyway, I'll be uploading this project to in a drive. You guys just download and have a look. Clear, guys?
Mention Ravi, mention date, Ravi, without suppose if you put
No,
today.
Srinivas, I'll talk to you regarding this later. I'll talk to you this
Okay.
because by whenever I upload, right, automatically it will come the date wise. You can sort it by date wise in the drive itself. I'll show you that how to do. You can stay back and others can, if anyone has a doubt, they can stay back and other can sleep for the day.